Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're brand new here, my name is Stav and this is my channel, She Equips Herself. And this is episode 3 of my new series, Finding the Perfect Carry Gun. And in this episode, we're featuring the CZ PCR Compact, also known as the CZ75D Compact. Here she is. She's beautiful. I actually went to the range this morning and shot it for the very first time ever. I filmed that, so I'm going to take you to the range in a little bit and I'll show you how that went. But basically, I shoot the exact same course of fire every time in these episodes so that I get the same feel for the gun in a fairly scientific way. I'm comparing them the same way. So I'll do a 50 round warm-up and then you'll see me do the same course of fire twice, and then I take the best score from those two courses of fire, and that's my score for this gun in the live fire portion. And then I'm gonna show you how I carry it throughout the week as well. I've decided that if I shoot an 80 or less, I'm not gonna carry it because that's just not safe. I would not recommend switching your carry gun every single week. I'm doing this so that I can give you guys an overview of a bunch of different guns. But this is not something that I would do in my daily life. Normally I carry the Glock 42. That's my current carry gun. Depending on how the series goes, maybe I'll change it, but just to show you the size difference between these two guns, the Glock 42 is much smaller and lighter than the CZ PCR. And the CZ is designed for police in the Czech Republic. I think PCR stands for Police Czech Republic. So this was designed to be a duty gun, but they also had concealed carry kind of in mind when they made it, because it is small enough for someone to conceal carry depending on your size. I'm 5'2" and 110 pounds, so this is gonna be a bit challenging for me to carry, but I'm gonna do it because I did shoot higher than an 80. You guys will see when I go to the range, but I shot well enough to carry this week, so I'm going to do that and show you how I carry it. Even at empty right now, it's pretty heavy, but my first impressions when I was handling this gun is that it's really comfortable. It has these nice rubber grips, but I also noticed that it doesn't quite fit my hand properly. And when it comes to sizing a gun for yourself, I go over this in my online course, the Armed and Confident Academy. And there are a couple things you want to look for, and I noticed when I was handling this gun that it doesn't fit me right. So I'm going to show you one of those things right now. So when you're testing out a gun to see if it fits your hand, one thing you want to make sure of is that you have a proper grip. So if I hold it like this, I want there to be a straight line from the front sight to the rear sight, my wrist, my elbow, all the way up my arm. So I would be holding it like this. That's a proper grip. If I had to torque it like this, that's an improper grip. So that line is now going this way. You want it to be a straight line. So if I turn it the right way, this is a proper grip. But when I do that, I can't reach the trigger. It's too far forward for my tiny little hands.
I like, can I touch?
Whoa, whoa. So when we go to the range, you'll see I have to constantly adjust my hands, because when I pull it out of my holster, I pull it with a proper grip, but then I can't pull the trigger. This gun is just too big for my hands. Now my husband shot it and he could reach things properly, but even he said that the controls were a little too far forward for him. Before I started shooting, I was just trying to lock the slide open, so I'll show you. I'm gonna remove the magazine. This gun is empty. And now if I'm trying to lock the slide to the rear, the slide stop is right here. And it's just too far forward for my thumb. So in order to actually lock the slide to the rear with no magazine in it, I have to like torque my hand. Let me see if I can show you. So in order to lock the slide back, I have to torque my hand like all the way this way, pull the slide back, and then push up on that slide stop, and I can get it. But as I was just handling this gun, it took me a while to figure out how to do that. It is more challenging for me because I have smaller hands, and I'm also just not strong enough to use the front serrations or do anything like that. So I did figure out a way to lock the slide to the rear, but it's not easy for me just because of the size of my hands. So it's important to know all these things when you're testing out a gun to see if it fits your hands. Like, I have like little baby hands. They just don't fit this gun that well, which is unfortunate. And there are aftermarket grips you can get to make the grip a little narrower, so maybe that might help. but with the stock grips, it just does not fit my hand. Figuring out if a gun fits you is something we talk about in the Armed and Confident Academy, and I do have an online sale going on for the spring for my online courses. So if you want to check those out, I'll put all the details in the description. But if you've been wanting to take my courses, now's a great time to do it with that sale. So when I was shooting this gun, another thing I noticed is that having a double action, single action trigger is something that I definitely would need to train with a lot because I'm just not used to it. So the gun has 2 different trigger pulls. The first shot is going to have a long, heavy trigger pull. And then my subsequent shots, the gun would be cocked, and those are a much lighter, shorter trigger pull. And going from that first heavier trigger pull to the second lighter trigger pull is an adjustment. You can see my first run, I'm just getting used to that, and when you fire your first shot with that heavy trigger pull, and then especially if you're firing right away after, and the hammer's cocked to the rear, it's not a heavy trigger pull at all. So going from a heavy trigger pull to a light trigger pull is an adjustment. And some people really enjoy that because that first trigger pull is very deliberate. You're less likely to have an accident with that long, heavy trigger pull. I mean, there's a lot to be said there. You should never have your finger near the trigger unless you're ready to shoot your gun. You need to have proper gear that doesn't allow the trigger to be pressed. But still, some people really like that. Now, this gun has a really nice, pronounced beaver tail. This did not get in my way at all. I actually like the way that my hand fits underneath it, but my husband was having trouble with the draw. It was getting in his way, and that's just going to be so dependent on your body type, where you carry, the holster, how you carry, because I didn't have trouble with that in my belly band, but he was using this inside the waistband holster, and it was giving him trouble. But I do like how pronounced that is. It's just a very obvious place for your hand to land when you go to draw the gun. And this gun is designed to be carried decocked. So normally you'd load the gun and then you would decock. And the decocking lever is right here. Very easy to access. I had no trouble at all decocking the gun every time I was gonna holster it. And you'll see that now the hammer is not fully forward. It's in like the half cocked position. So it's not as long of a trigger press as if the gun was fully decocked. So there's my first trigger press. So overall, I really liked this gun. My best run, I only had 1 miss with it out of 50 rounds. A miss is anything out of the large circle you'll see on the target I used. We experienced 0 malfunctions with this gun. We shot 200 rounds out of it total today, and no problems at all. It was actually extremely comfortable to shoot. I just wish it fit my hand better. But these are good things to know and look out for, because even if you enjoy shooting a gun, it might not fit your hand right, and that's something that you need to look out for and be aware of. So really fun 9mm. I am gonna carry it this week, so I'll show you guys some outfits. But right now, let's go to the range and then we'll do the concealed carry after the range. Hi guys, we're here at the range now with the CZ PCR Compact. It's still cold here. I feel like every week it actually gets colder and colder, even though we're getting closer to spring. But I'm gonna load it up. This is my first time shooting this gun, so I'm gonna do a 50 round warm up, and then I'll do my regular course of fire. Surprised me. Okay.
Into another. Is it recoiling more than you expected?
It is.
It looks like it's jumping.
And I think it's just a tad too big for my hands, the grip. So it looks like it's jumping out of my hands a little bit. But it's a very smooth shooter, very comfortable so far. I only fired 5 shots, but it's comfortable to shoot. Oh, I'm not used to having the 2 different trigger pulls, so we'll see. like the different trigger pulls. I feel like it throws me off, but this was my first time shooting it, and that's probably something I would get used to. But the gun is definitely too big for my hands. But I'm gonna do it. We're gonna do the qual, see how I shoot, and we'll go from there. Okay guys, now I'm all warmed up with the CZ and it's time to do my first qual. Unfortunately, we only have one magazine, so I'm not gonna be able to demonstrate reloads with this gun. We got this gun on loan from a friend of ours, and we're very thankful that he gave it to us to borrow, but we only have one magazine, so we're gonna be loading the magazine in between. You guys won't see the reloads. But let's go. I'm gonna do my first qual now. If you wanna see exactly what I'm doing, I have it written out in the description of this video. In the first video we did in this series, I explained every single step, but if you wanna see exactly what I'm doing, just look in the description. All right, here we go. Okay, we're starting at the 15. I feel like that second shot always surprises me. Yard line. Yard line, dominant hand only. Oh, that's weird. Okay, 7 yards with my left hand, my non-dominant hand. Okay, now I'm at 5 yards. It's gonna be 2 shots, holster, 2 shots, holster, back and forth. I can feel myself flinching so bad. Oh, thought you left. So much flinching, baby. Did you see that? I could feel myself flinching so hard that time. So these 3 were all misses. These 3 at the top were all misses from those 2 rounds I just did. This was with my left hand, and this one was my right miss.
And the top ones again?
I kind of fell apart there at the end. Yeah, this is the ones I just did, the 2-2-2. All right, guys, I'm gonna do it one more time, starting at 15 yards. I did better that time. I think knowing that I'm gonna have 2 different trigger pulls this time, I was more mentally prepared. And I think that with the training, you can get used to it. Because I didn't miss any here with the 2s that I was doing at the end, and that's what I had the most trouble with last time. This was a miss with my left hand. So that's my best target so far in this all these 3 episodes. All right, guys, here are my 2 targets that my lovely husband just scored for me. This was my first run. I got a 90, 5 misses, and my second time, I got a 98 with 1 miss. Okay, guys, now it's time to try to conceal this gun. I'm gonna put the specs right here so you guys can see, but the CZ I'm carrying today is roughly twice as heavy as the Glock 42 that I normally carry. I'm a small person, and this is a pretty big gun. Look how much of my torso it takes up. So we're gonna see if we can conceal this gun today. Since I shot it well enough during my qualification portion of this video, I am gonna carry it. So you guys saw me wear the belly band during that video, so that's probably how I'm gonna carry this gun today. Because of how heavy that gun is, I feel like I'll feel it less in this belly band because of how tight it holds the gun to my body. So I'm just gonna show you. Normally if I carried the Glock 42 in this belly band and then put this little jacket over it, you wouldn't be able to see it. But because of how big the CZ is, let's see how it conceals. I would probably need like a big sweatshirt to conceal it. So if I tried to just conceal it under this thin jacket, it's printing pretty significantly. So yeah, nice gun to shoot, but for my body size, it's not easy to conceal. And these are the colder months. I mean, it's starting to get a little warm, but in the summer, I don't think I'd be able to conceal this on my body and do it in such a way where it was comfortable for me to do every day, where I would daily grab my gun and put it on my body because it's just too big for me. But I'm gonna carry it. I just can't have this over it because I'm gonna wear another layer on top of it, and this little jacket over it would just get in the way of my draw if I had to draw my gun. So let's get another layer. Okay, so I have this jacket here by Valhalla Tactical. I was sent this jacket just to check it out and review it, and it's actually pretty cool. Let me show you why. And I love this color. So I'm actually gonna take this jacket off because it gets in the way of my draw. And I'm just gonna have the jacket, the Valhalla jacket, over. Okay, so I've got that gun right here. And let me show you what's so cool about this jacket. Besides how cute it is. I like how long it is in the back. It has 2 pockets here. Now, the coolest feature about this jacket is that it does have pockets here. I can put my stuff in them. But behind those is like a false pocket. So if I lift it up, you can see my hands are right outside the jacket on the inside of my waistband. And if I unsnap this, you can see my hand is on my gun and ready to draw. So the thing that intrigued me about this jacket is that if I'm ever in a situation where I feel a little uncomfortable or something, it looks like I just have my hands in my pockets. But then if I had to, I could draw my gun out right from the side there. And rather than having to lift my jacket, get my hand on my gun, and then draw, my hand can just be ready to go. So that's kind of a cool feature of this jacket, is I can just have my hand on my gun, la-di-da, and just draw right out of the side. So kind of cool. I'll link these below in case you guys want to get one for yourselves. I just love this color. This is very light, nice for spring, and it does have these snaps. I kind of wish these were a strong magnet instead so they'd pull away easier, but what I've been doing is I just fasten the top button. And like I said, it does have real pockets. Like there's a pocket here that I could use if I wanted to, but behind it is that false pocket, so it just opens right up to your gun. Kind of cool. They do have a men's style as well. This is the women's jacket, but they have the same jacket for men. Okay, so we're gonna carry this out today. I'll tell you guys how it felt. We'll talk about how it felt and everything later after I've carried it for a bit. But this is my concealment today, just like a sporty little outfit, leggings, and I'm using my Can belly band. I'm trying to find a worthy replacement that I can recommend because they don't make these anymore, but it is my favorite, and that's how I'm gonna carry it today. All right, see you later. Hey guys. So it turns out that this larger gun has been a bit more challenging to conceal on my body. I've grabbed my Glock 42 a couple times just because it's easier to grab and go. Because this gun, I either have to carry it in a bag or carry it in a belly band. And like with a bodysuit, I can't carry it in a belly band because I have the open sweater. But I'm just going to show you a second option. And this is one reason why I love carry bags. I know people have a lot of opinions about off-body carry, but before you leave a comment saying why people should never off-body carry, watch this video that I did all about off-body carry considerations. It's not for everybody, but there are a lot of really good pros about off-body carry. One major pro is that you're not limited to gun size because you can carry in a bag like this. You can carry a full-size gun in this bag. And this one is by Gun Totin' Mamas. I don't have a code with them, unfortunately, but I think this bag is on Amazon, so I'll find it and link it below if I can. But this is one of my favorite off-body carry options. This is the first off-body carry bag I ever used. In fact, I think when my husband and I filmed the video where he attacks me and I see how fast I can draw out of a bag, I think I used this bag. But this is just a really great option for a gun that's larger and harder to conceal on your body. So if I shot this gun, great. This is the gun that I shoot the best, and this is what I feel comfortable carrying. I could carry in a bag, and then you won't be limited by what you wear. So I like this one because it opens in the top. That's one of the things I look for in a concealed carry bag. It opens in the top so I can have my hand on my gun if I need to, ready to go. It has an entirely separate compartment for my gun from all the other things in the bag. So you can see here, the back compartment has a Velcro holster, so I can reposition this as I want, and it fits up to a full-size gun. So this gun fits in here perfectly. I can change the angle if I want to, depending on the best way to draw the gun out of this bag. And it's just a nice option. So if someone ever tells you you should never off-body carry, I don't like to say never, because everyone has a different situation, different training, different comfort levels, and this could be a great option if you want to carry a larger gun, but you're a smaller person, so it's a little more difficult to conceal on your body. You can just have your hand on your gun ready to go and then draw when you need to. Too big for my body is what I'm finding. This gun's a little too big for me. It's a little too heavy for me. Not super comfortable to carry. When I carried it the other day in the belly band, it wasn't awful, but it was definitely way more noticeable than a smaller gun. So just some things to think about. If you're looking into this CZ for concealed carry, just take some of those things into account. You might be bigger than me and this gun wouldn't be as noticeable on your body. So I really enjoyed shooting it, but for my size and outfit choices, it's just not the perfect carry gun for me. Okay guys, that concludes my week with the CZ PCR Compact. I hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know if you've tried this gun, if you carry this gun, if you've ever shot this gun, and let me know what other guns you'd like to see as part of this series, and we'll try to get our hands on them for you guys. I appreciate you all. Stay safe. Bye.